Everyone, I'd like to do a quick blog about Hughes Shock This documentary was about modern art and avant-garde art in general. It showed us that with modern art, it was more of a movement where it wasn't just consisted of paintings. Shama talked about body art, which I found interesting because if you see today, they use an example of a man that had a star kind of buzzed into the back of his head, and you see a lot of that now today as you're walking around the street. It's I never thought of it as a form of art, but it is. It also talked about sculptures and like almost a pilgrimage to go see these sculptures. One example was the one that was in Nevada that Mike Heiser created, and this was to depict art as an advanced concept, and that it was like an inventive, and you weren't able to transport it or sell this form of art. And his sculpture consisted of it was 40 meters long and 30 meters wide and 7 feet tall, and I found this to be remarkable that someone was able to construct something so beautiful and so big, and it kind of gave you the feeling of using nature and modern technology to depict art in general, which was really, really cool. I'd also like to talk a little bit about the Museum of Modern Art that was in New York. Alfred Barr was very important in constructing this Museum of Modern Art, and he got the moneymakers to contribute to art. And one of them that I know of that he asked, who was the purse strings in constructing the Museum of Modern Art, was Rockefeller. And it was to illustrate avant-gardism and modern painting and radical painting, because as we learned earlier, the painting movements prior to this particular modern art were based on religion and beliefs and political and thoughts, and this form of art was just about the particular artist and how they felt, and freedom and expression. And in the past, art wasn't about freedom and expression of your inner self. And I found this to be quite interesting because personally, I wasn't into modern art. I like the older works, but after watching this video, I found it to be very inventive and interesting. And a couple of examples from this video were the boxes and the bricks. The bricks it almost looked like a paved brick road, and it consisted of 120 bricks. And what I found so interesting about this is it kind of like paved a new way in our history, and I never thought of something so simple could be like so meaningful and deep. The boxes on the wall were to represent art and going outside the box and outside of the norm, and thinking something so simple, some object so simple, being so powerful and so moving, was really, really cool to see that, and I found that really intriguing and almost like scandalous in a way. It was really interesting. And with modern art, the main focus was to kind of move away from looking at art as a moneymaker. Because when modern art started to develop, it became about money, and people saw it as an investment. So, like I said earlier, art changed to different forms. Like, for example, the body art, and the one artist that they interview did art within himself, and that's something you can't buy. He illustrated to everyone the movements and being underwater, and the internal struggle of a daily life to a particular individual which was beautiful. The way he moved in the water, and you saw the power and the struggle, and you wonder, when is he going to come up for air? So I found that to be really, really cool, and almost like a fight towards making art for what it's worth, and feeling and expression. They talk about Vienna, and they talk about how it's it's more of like how it describes, scandal and feeling, and they go back to more of like the modernism of Freud, and feeling and expression. So I found that to be really interesting, because they, like I said prior, they move away from more of political and paintings of kings and religion, and it's more of free thought and free expression, which is very important, because that's the American way. That's what our life is based on, is freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and just overall freedom of thought. So like I said, this video was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. I love seeing the sculpture in Nevada. The other one that I found to be really cool was the one in New Mexico, where they have the silver pillars, and they set it up in this open field so you could see how the lightning hits it, and the beauty of nature and art, and how it just forms into one, and it just leaves you with an open mind. And that was just really, really, really cool. So I liked the video. Like I said, Shama is not my favorite, but it is very informative, and it was a worthwhile video to watch in general, because it gives you a better concept of modern art and how it forms commercialism, fashion, art of movement, and just art in general, how it just, forms our lives today. I mean, something as simple as a particular building, to, sculptures, and going to that pilgrimage to see this beauty that can't be thrown into a museum and bought. So that was just a brief overview of the modernism of art and avant-garde, and I will be talking to you guys soon. See ya.